Hi everyone, I'm Xiaoling. I'm 50 years old. I'm divorced, I don't have any children, and I'm currently living alone in Wuhan, China. Life hasn't gone the way I once imagined. I'm still paying off debt, and I don't really have any close friends. Most days, it's just me. Welcome to another ordinary day in my life. It's been raining since this morning. I don't have any special plans today, and nothing exciting is going to happen. But over the years, I've realized something. The most meaningful moments in life are often hidden in the ordinary. So today, I'd like to take you with me and simply share what a normal rainy day looks like. When I was younger, I always thought life had to be exciting. I believed every day needed to be filled with big goals, new experiences, or something worth celebrating. But the older I get, the more I realize that simply waking up after a good night's sleep is already a blessing. Every new morning is another chance to start over. These days, one of the first things I do is reach for my phone. I check the weather to see what the day will be like, and sometimes I scroll through the news to find out if anything important happened overnight. It's become part of my morning routine without me even thinking about it. What about you? When you wake up, do you grab your phone first, or do you try to stay away from it for a while? After that, I brush my teeth and wash my face. Then, I usually pause for a moment and look at myself in the mirror. Every year, I notice a few more wrinkles, a few more signs that time keeps moving forward. The truth is, time doesn't slow down for any of us. When I was younger, getting older sounded a little scary. Now, I see it differently. Every line on my face tells a story. Every challenge has taught me something. Getting older hasn't made me perfect, but it has made me more patient, more grateful, and more accepting of who I am. I may not be the person I dreamed of becoming when I was young, but I'm learning to appreciate the person I've become today. It's been raining all day today. A lot of people don't like rainy days. They think the weather is gloomy or inconvenient. But I've always felt the opposite. There's something peaceful about the rain. It seems like the whole world slows down for a while. The streets are quieter. People aren't in such a rush. Even the air feels different. I love listening to the sound of raindrops tapping on the leaves and rooftops. It's one of those simple sounds that helps me slow down and clear my mind. On rainy days like this, I don't feel the need to hurry anywhere. Instead, I like to enjoy the moment, take a deep breath, and appreciate the quiet. Sometimes, all we really need is a little silence to remind us to slow down.
收请发到账7元。
大家有没有？大家直接接。
跟你这三位。
看你的盘子好吧？
啊。
好了。
马上。
热干面几块
5块钱。
I always like to start my day with a simple breakfast. It doesn't have to be fancy. As long as it's warm, filling, and comforting, that's enough for me. One thing I really like about living in China is how convenient everyday life is. In most neighborhoods, you'll find plenty of small restaurants and breakfast shops just outside the apartment buildings. I only have to walk a minute or two, and I have dozens of choices. This morning, I ordered a bowl of hot, dry noodles, one of Wuhan's most famous local dishes. It costs just 5 yuan, which is about 70 to 80 cents US. And the soy milk, it's completely free. You can refill your cup as many times as you want. I don't think I've ever seen that in many other countries. If you ever visit Wuhan, hot, dry noodles is definitely something you should try. For many local people, it's more than just breakfast. It's part of everyday life. What's even more surprising is that the price has stayed almost the same for years. Whether the economy is doing well or not, a bowl of hot dry noodles is still around 5 yuan. It's one of those small things that people here have come to count on. When I was younger, I was always chasing money. I worked long hours and often skipped meals without even realizing it. Back then, I thought success meant being busy all the time. Now, my priorities have changed. I've learned that taking care of yourself is just as important as working hard. 3 simple meals a day, a good night's sleep, and good health. When you have those things, you're already richer than you might think. After breakfast, I headed to the supermarket to pick up a few groceries. I actually enjoy cooking at home. Not only is it healthier, but it also helps me save money. These days, I pay a lot more attention to what I spend. So every time I shop, I take my time. I like to walk through each aisle and see what's fresh and what's on sale. My first stop is usually the seasoning aisle. I always check to see if there are any discounts on cooking sauces or spices. Unfortunately, nothing was on sale today. Next, I walked over to the frozen food section. I picked up a bag of frozen dumplings. They're easy to make, and during the hot summer, there are days when I really don't feel like cooking. Sometimes all I want is something quick, simple, and filling. Then, I wandered into the snack aisle. I looked around for a while. There were plenty of things I wanted to try, but after checking the prices, I quietly put them back on the shelf. Right now, I have to be careful with every dollar I spend. Snacks can wait. The groceries I actually need come first. So, I moved on to the vegetable section. I picked up some water spinach because it was fresh and inexpensive. I also grabbed a few chili peppers. Then I went to the meat counter. The beef looked great, but it was still too expensive for my budget today. Instead, I bought some pork and a few pork ribs. For today's meals, I'm planning to make braised winter melon with pork and a simple potato and pork rib soup. Nothing fancy, just homemade food that's affordable, comforting, and enough to get me through another day. Sometimes happiness isn't about having the most expensive ingredients. It's about making the best meal you can with what you have.
就剩下了一点儿了。
这是牛排才上的牛排，原来都是鸡。 这个便宜些，这个20多的。
为啥？这个是20多，那个是30。
这个骨头。
哦，这个是去掉那个骨头的，是不是？
对对。
来，给我拿2根儿。给我剁了，好吧？
Because it's so hot today, I decided to stop by the drink section. I spent a few minutes looking around, hoping to find something refreshing at a good price. There were plenty of choices, but nothing really stood out as a great deal. In the end, I picked up a 6-pack of Coca-Cola for 9.7 yuan, which is about $1.35 US. On a hot summer day, an ice-cold Coke is still one of my favorite little treats. I don't buy soft drinks very often, but every once in a while, it's nice to enjoy something simple that makes the day a little better. My last stop was the bakery section. I walked around, hoping to find some discounted bread, but unfortunately, nothing was on sale today. After looking through all the shelves, I picked the least expensive loaf I could find. It's not the bread I wanted, but it's the one that fits my budget. I like to keep some bread at home because whenever I get hungry, I can grab a couple of slices without having to cook. It's a simple and affordable way to keep myself going throughout the day. When you're living on a tight budget, you learn to make practical choices. You don't always buy what you want. You buy what you need. Maybe one day I won't have to check every price tag before putting something into my shopping cart. But for now, I'm grateful that I can still bring home enough food for another day. After I got home, I took a short break before starting on lunch. Today's meal is simple, but it's one of my favorite homemade combinations. I'm making braised pork ribs with potatoes and a stir-fry of water spinach with garlic. I'll be showing you the entire cooking process step by step. If you're interested in Chinese home cooking, feel free to follow along and try it yourself. These are the kinds of dishes that many Chinese families cook every day. They're simple, affordable, and full of flavor. You don't need expensive ingredients or complicated techniques to make a delicious meal. Sometimes the best food is the kind that's cooked at home with fresh ingredients and a little patience. I hope this recipe inspires you to give Chinese home cooking a try. Who knows, it might become one of your new favorite meals. A lot of people think an ordinary day isn't worth recording. Nothing exciting happens. Nothing goes viral. Nothing seems special. But I believe it's these ordinary moments that become the most meaningful memories as time goes by. Years from now, I probably won't remember every busy day or every accomplishment. But I'll remember mornings like this, the sound of the rain, a simple breakfast, shopping for groceries, cooking a homemade meal, and finding peace in the little things. Thank you for spending part of your day with me. If you enjoy slow, authentic videos about everyday life in China, I'd love to have you here. Please consider subscribing to the channel and joining me on this journey. Take good care of yourself, wherever you are in the world. I hope you stay healthy, find moments of peace, and have a wonderful day. I'll see you in the next video.